The presentation has everything: shepherds, wise men, Mary and Joseph, baby Jesus, even animals. In fact, for a number of years, the church rented a live camel for the Magi characters to lead into the sanctuary. About 3 years ago, the cost of camel rentals went through the roof. Church leaders calculated that for what it would cost to rent a camel for 2 years, they could buy one. So being good stewards of the Lord's money, the church bought a camel. Her name is Lucy. It's a pretty good life for the camel. Lucy is only called on to perform 4 or 5 days each year. And in the off-season, she lives on a ranch owned by one of the members of the church. Her upkeep is minimal. She eats hay and grass. And her life expectancy is 40 to 50 years. Obviously, the church will save a fortune in camel rentals over the next half-century. I keep picturing Lucy lolling around green pastures, chewing her cud, waiting for those 4 or 5 days a year when she gets to be a star. And I wonder if she misses the cheers and applause when she's not performing. I wonder if it bothers her that her part of the Christmas story spends most of its time off stage. Of course, that's sort of the way it is for the rest of the cast. Jesus, Joseph, and Mary are probably boxed away in some musty closet. The wise men and shepherds are shuffled off to obscurity, more dire than even their enigmatic biblical roles. The manger, hay, and other animals for rent are carted off, penned and stored, waiting patiently for the annual pageant. And I worry that it's not only cast and props that are boxed and put away. Along with the visuals of Christmas, I worry that the message and the spirit of Christmas is also pushed aside. During Christmas, we sing the words, "Peace on earth." After all, it is the birth of the Prince of Peace we are celebrating. We also gather and deliver food and clothing to the poor. All of this to honor the Christ child who so cherishes the least of these as his own. But when Christmas is over, we don't talk much about peace. As we wage war in Iraq and Afghanistan, talking about peace is deemed unpatriotic, and the least of these that we're so concerned about before Christmas become the last ones we think about as we resume our regular routines and rituals. Like Lucy the camel, I worry that the spirit of Christmas is something we trot out for a brief performance once a year. But after that, it's back to the pasture. For all of us, the spirit of the season should be center stage every day. And if that means bringing Lucy into the sanctuary every Sunday, what's wrong with that? Besides, where's the fun of owning a camel if you hardly ever use it? Now, this parable is not meant to make anyone feel guilty, but I hope it makes us pause as we're still surrounded by the beauty of the Christmas decorations and as we feel the love of others who are close to us. And I hope it makes us pause to consider what Christmas really means to each of us, but also what it requires of us. Let's take a moment and think on these things.